Bay win the NFC South.
Same, Baker. Same. I was pissed last night. I mean, if I would have saw a 4-year-old kid look at me the wrong way, I would have kicked him into the ground. I was not okay last night. Like, bro. It's just how it's how it happened. That's what it is. Just one of those games. Went to bed angry. I am not lying when I tell you I had a dream that they reviewed the Jalen McMillan interception and overturned it. And the Bucs won the game. I had a dream. I swear. I am not lying to you right now. Woke up pissed off. Got to work. Wanted to put my status on F off. Like, to the Cowboys, who had this game had no playoff implications to them. That's the team that came out with more energy and fight and just ready to go than us. A team that's playing December football that matters, means something. You're only one game ahead of the Atlanta Falcons, and that's how we show up? This video might be, a roller coaster. I'm trying not to be reactive. I'm trying to look at the full picture, this, that, and the other, take it all into account, and then make it into one video for you guys. But, we'll see how this goes. Not to be dramatic, but the effect that this loss could have on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a franchise. Not just an effect on the Buccaneers the rest of the season. Yes, it hurts their playoff chances, but the effect it could have on coaching staff, potentially, and just where the direction of the Buccaneers are going forward. It really could, because if the Buccaneers miss the playoffs, I'm not in charge, but there's some big decisions to make. And this is because, once again, the team as well, and the staff did not show up in primetime against a 6-8 Dallas team that has been eliminated for the playoffs, nothing to play for other than pride. Was 1-6 at home, and now the Buccaneers do not control their own destiny. It is all in the hands of the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, who is this team? Who is this team? Are we the team that blows out the Chargers, the team that beats the Lions at home, or are we this? Are we a team that, shows up with less pride than a team that has nothing to fight for but pride? Which team are we? The team that gets swept by the Atlanta Falcons? Who is this football team? There's no consistency, and there has been no consistency under Todd Bowles. I know this year's been a different story because of injuries, but there's never been consistency under Todd Bowles. We have never been 3 games over 500. 3 games over 500. Not 5 games, not 6 games, just 3. Just 3 games. Imagine telling Vikings fans, we've never been 3 games over 500. I know you're 13-2 right now in second place in your division. We've won the division the last 2 years without ever being 3 games under 500. And this year we still have a pretty solid chance. Imagine telling, oh my God. And I mentioned it in my preview. The last time the Bucs were on this much of a high was after the Detroit win. They came back to Tampa, next game, obliterated by the Denver Broncos at home. And I was like, I think they learned from that, right? They had to have learned from that. They're on a high, blowing out the Chargers, but you're going into primetime like they have to be able to get up for that game and just show up, right? I guess I was a little too hopeful. Because, no shot. A team with no playoff implications comes out with more energy and fight than we do, right? We have everything on the line in every single game the rest of the year. There's no chance, right? Wrong. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if there's not enough, leaders on this team. I don't know if there's enough people that will check each other as teammates. Bro, you need to get your together type guys. I don't know what it is. I'm not in the locker room, but this just continues to happen over Bowles' tenure where, we should not have to try to revive this season in back-to-back years being 4-7. Like, we should not have to do that. Why do they let it get to that point? And now, you get some things going your way. You're getting some wins, some nice wins too. And you just don't show up in prime time. 0-4 in prime time, by the way. I'm sure everyone's already seen that stat by now, but how? How do you not get up for this? So, if you're still pissed off and you don't want to hear any bit of optimism, because I'm going to try to make this video well-rounded, go ahead and skip ahead just a little bit, maybe a minute and a half. People are already messaging me and commenting on my stuff like, the season's over, burn down one Buck and just start over. Like, all right, I was mad too, but let's realize where we're at, okay? Yes, things are not, we don't control our own destiny anymore. Yesterday, they let their grasp on the NFC South slip. That's what happened. It slipped. They did not let go. The Bucs are not eliminated from the playoffs. They did not let go. It slipped a little bit out of their hands, and now they have to recover, hope for the best. But the season is not over. The season is not. Get out of here with that. That's loser mentality. I'm sorry. NFL.com still has the Bucs at a 51% chance to make the playoffs. Some sites have even more because of the opponents coming up. Obviously, the Bucs play both games at home. Panthers, Saints. Atlanta, next week, Sunday Night Football in Washington. There's still a very, very real chance for the Buccaneers to make the playoffs, and that's why these probabilities are still kind of in the Bucs' favor. 51%, like I said, on NFL.com, and there's some that I've seen that are up to like 67, 68. People do not think the Falcons are going to beat the Commanders on the road, and that's why, the Bucs still have to handle business, but there's still a chance, and that is all that matters. The Buccaneers are still playing December football that matters. Every game means something. Every game is huge. The Bucs have to win out. There's still a path, and once you make it to the playoffs, records are wiped. Everyone is 0-0. Last year, the Bucs entered as 9-8, and then blew out the Eagles at home, and then went toe-to-toe with the Lions at their place. Everything starts fresh in the playoffs. We've seen a 9-7 team win the Super Bowl before. Everything starts fresh. Once you make it to the playoffs, that's all you got to do is get into the dance. That's all you got to do. So if you're sitting here saying the season is over, I'm sorry, I'm not with you on that sentiment. I just don't have that. I can't force myself into that mentality. I can't do it. There's still so much to play for. I know we're mad. I know we're upset. So am I. I'm annoyed. I'm pissed off. Where's the little kid that I can kick on the ground? There's still a path. Plenty of blame to go around in this one. I guess I'll start with the offense. We talked about it. Cowboys, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They give up a ton of points. If you score 24 points on them, you win. That's how it's been all year long. What are they, 0-8 or 0-9? I said it in my last video. When a team scores 24 points, the Cowboys were 0-9 this season. What is Yeah. We also talked about how the Cowboys were one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. Didn't really get things going there either. Bucky Irving had some moments, 16 carries, 68 yards, 4.3 average, long of 15. Baker Mayfield had some big runs. Rashad White, they didn't really let him carry the ball. And yeah, weren't able to run the ball on one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. So that consistency that we've seen over the last 4 weeks did not show up in prime time. And I think some of it has to do with play calling. I mean, we started the game. I would have loved to see them just start the game, establish that run against this defense. Plus, Eric Kendricks, one of their linebackers, was out too. Like, bro, run the ball right at them. And I think the first 10 plays of the game, I think 8 were passes and 2 were runs. So, it's both sides of the ball, honestly, in my opinion. It's both sides of the ball. I thought Dallas did a really good job on Mike Evans. You heard it multiple times in interviews throughout the game. Before the game, Micah Parsons said, we're not going to let Mike Evans beat us. Mike McCarthy said, we're not going to let Mike Evans beat us. They didn't do that. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 69 yards, no touchdowns. Beautiful 26-yard grab. But someone else needed to step up, and it was not Sterling Shepard. I mean, that kind of set the vibe for the entire game. That fourth down play, first drive of the game, and the Bucs are just like, Bowles and Cohen are like, let's go, we're going for it, wide open, and that kind of just set the tone right there. Things were just never clean, never consistent, not holding on to the ball. So outside of the run game, outside of Mike Evans, really your next guy would be Cade Otton. Cade Otton was out injured. Great game plan. All the credit in the world to Mike Zimmer. His defense has not been good this year, but it showed up in this one. It did show up in this one against a team that averages 28 points per game, pretty much runs the ball on anyone, up and down the field with ease at some points. Never found consistency. I thought Baker was okay. I don't want to see Baker throwing the ball 43 times. I just don't. With how good our run game is, I don't want to see that. But 303 yards. He did throw the ball a ton, so it makes sense that he got over the 300-yard mark. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Can't really blame that interception on him. I love that he threw it deep, gave his guy a chance, put some trust in him. Heck of a play. Heck of a play by the safety. 4 sacks. That's kind of really where I'm shaky on Baker. In this one, it was just a lot of times. Baker, get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball, Bake. And, I mean, that's the difference in a 3rd and 8 and a 3rd and 15. If he just throws that ball away instead of taking a sack, trying to dodge 3 different guys and find someone downfield to make a heroic play, that's Baker Mayfield at the end of the day. You take the good with the bad. You take the good, that Bosa play where he just stiffs arms him. Beautiful. Even at the end of this game where he's like dragging a guy on his feet to get it to Rashad before he fumbles. Good. Keeping it alive. But sometimes you just gotta, either take the sack so you don't end up in 3rd and 40 and fumble the ball, or throw it out of bounds. Please, throw it out of bounds sometimes. The Cowboys secondary, they got playmakers, and they didn't even have Trevon Diggs. So Bland, Lewis, they got some playmakers back there, and they made plays. They took the ball from Jalen McMillan. They took the ball from Rachaad White. I just wish we could see some of that from our defense. Like, our only playmaker in the secondary would be Antoine Winfield Jr. He's out. No one else making plays. Find an interception. Strip the ball out. Nothing. No turnovers yesterday. Turnover margin or turnover battle was 2-0. Since I guess I'm moving over to the defense with that, let's go to the defense. Cooper Rush. Made things difficult, and that's saying it nicely. Made this defense honestly look bad at points. It took, 3 quarters for this defense to finally lock in and start getting some stops consistently? Nothing at the start of the game set the Bucs up to make things difficult for Cooper Rush. He'd just say, 5 yards here, 7 yards here. Oh my goodness, it's CeeDee Lamb. Did not make things difficult on him at all. They couldn't run the ball, which was great. Run stopping was fantastic. Rico Dowdle could not get anything going at all. You could tell he was frustrated by the 4th quarter. But, yeah, Cooper Rush. Once again, I feel like everything I called out in my preview that was in the Bucs' favor did not end up going in the Bucs' favor. Called out that Cooper Rush had the 32nd best passer rating in the NFL. That didn't look like it to me. And then ultimately, this defense can't tackle. They cannot tackle. And I'm not just saying that because it seems like it on TV. Oh my goodness, a missed tackle. The Bucs can't tackle. No, they can't tackle. They legit can't tackle. The Bucs have missed 70 tackles this season on passing plays. Meaning, CeeDee Lamb catches the ball, makes 1 guy miss, makes 2 guys miss, breaks for 15 more yards. The Bucs lead that stat. They have the most missed tackles in the NFL on passing plays. So, plenty of rack yards given up, and that It kills you. Those are yards that should not be given. Yesterday just seemed like go around them, 10 more yards. It didn't matter who it is. Ferguson, it could have been anyone. They could not tackle at all yesterday. Todd Bowles said it at halftime when they stopped him before he went into the locker room for his interview. We got to tackle better. We got to tackle better. And they didn't figure it out until the fourth quarter. When, honestly, I was going to say it was too late, but it really wasn't too late because the Bucs had a real chance to win that game at the end. And that's the only good thing I can really say about this defense yesterday is that they did stop the run and they gave the offense a chance at the end, at the end to win this game. And the offense didn't take advantage of it. It's the truth. You want to see? It's the truth. I see a lot of people getting on the defense, but I get it. 100%. You shouldn't give up this many. You shouldn't give up 23 points in the first half to Cooper Rush. You should not. But the defense, I mean, they kind of locked in that second half, especially the fourth quarter. They only gave up 3 points in the second half. But the offense could not find their way back in it. So here's the end of the second quarter, halftime. We go punt, field goal, punt, interception, touchdown, fumble, sloppy. Right here is when the Bucs get the ball. They're down 9. You need 2 scores. You're down 9. You need 2 scores. Let's go. 5 plays, 11 yards. Defense gets a stop. They throw the interception. Defense gets a stop. They score the touchdown. Okay, let's go. Defense gets another stop. Fumble. End of game. It's a whole team effort yesterday. Whole team effort. It's not just the defense. I'm not seeing anyone say it's just the offense, but it was the entire team. The entire team. Simply just not good enough. You have control of the division by 1 game. What other motivation do you need to go out there and whoop on this team that was 1-6 at home and have no playoff implications? Like, bro, you're fighting for everything. Why can't this team be consistent? Like, these are questions that I continue to ask myself for the last almost 3 seasons now. Why can't we be consistent? And I'm not pointing any fingers, I'm not saying anything, but we've seen them go from offensively Byron Leftwich to Dave Canales, now Liam Cohen, but it's still the same story. Inconsistent. You don't know who the team is because they beat a really good team and then they lose to a bad team or an average team, and you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to point at that one guy that's been there this entire time and say, it's all his fault. It's not all his fault. He's not playing on the field. He can't control injuries, etc. But it's one consistent thing. A lot of questions, a lot of discussions that need to be had, and that will take place after the season because this season is still going, it's still alive, and there's still things to fight for big time. 2 more home games, y'all. 2 more home games. We got to get loud. We got to turn up for this team. I know. We're all annoyed. You probably don't want to hear that right now. It feels weird saying it, but Sunday, I will be there. I will turn up. It's 3 steps to the playoffs. The Bucs beat the Panthers at home. Sunday night, the Commanders beat the Falcons. And then the following week, Bucs beat the Saints at home. Seems realistic to me. Seems realistic. I'm going to be there. Panthers game, Saints game, lit, loud, ready to go, turned up. That's just me. That's just me. I can't tell you to spend money on tickets. But if you have tickets and you're selling your tickets because you're upset about this performance, it's your money. It's your money. I'll leave it at that. It's your money. I don't think anyone predicted the Buccaneers to go 7-0 after the bye week. I saw very few Bucs fans with that sort of optimism. Most people said 6 out of 7. The Bucs lost their 1. Why is fire everyone, burn down 1 buck? Like, they lost their 1, like most people predicted. Okay? Let's win these next 2. It's not in our own destiny. That sucks. It really sucks. But win your next 2. Whatever happens, happens. If the Bucs don't make the playoffs, I think we know what's going to happen. And if the Bucs do make the playoffs, we got a home playoff game to get live for. Either way, we'll see. It's the holidays. I'm supposed to be happy. Just not a good Christmas present. Really not a good Christmas present from our Bucs. But next video won't be till after Christmas. You know, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Then Christmas. Come on. No, I'm not making any videos. But whatever you guys have going on, spending time with family, whatever you celebrate. If you're, I hope you get all the gifts you want. I hope the people that open your gifts are very thankful, very grateful, and we all can just feel blessed these holidays. So thank you guys so much. I feel blessed for allowing me into your life. Anyone who watches my videos, thank you so much. Please leave your comments down below. Like and subscribe. Go Bucs.